Hello! Greetings. Welcome to part 4 of our special Christmas story time with me, Darcie May, the beautiful Princess Foxy Lady of Maine. Her daughters, Annie and Natalie, and their friends, JR and Jamie Rose, are ready to listen, and Mother Mouse is ready as well. Let's see, where were we? They had decorated their tree, so let's move Mother Mouse. Okay, here we go. This Christmas Eve morning, my mom got up early. She was up cooking for the poor mouse family. The house smelled wonderful from morning until night. We also wrapped up gifts and sealed the paper tight. On this Christmas Eve night, my dad had this to say. Early in the morning, we'll begin Christmas Day. Before we take time to open our Christmas gifts, we'll pack up everything. To our friends we will give. We'll put them on the sled, the gifts and all the food. I'll pull the sled to their home, followed by all of you. After we spend some time visiting, having fun, we'll get ready and back to our home we'll come. After we get home, we'll enjoy our Christmas tree and open up all the wrapped presents underneath. Enough of that for now. Christmas stockings you have, and it is Christmas Eve. These stockings you must hang. My mom had our Christmas stockings and held them up. We went to her and she gave one to each of us. We hung up our stockings close to the Christmas tree. Everyone was happy. I have a great family. Dad said, "It's getting late, children. It's time for bed." We hugged and kissed them both and to our beds did head. Our bellies were anxious, nervous, excited too. When it is Christmas Eve, do you feel this way too? All of the mice children, the little boys and girls, looked at Mother Mouse and nodded their heads at her. They nodded yes. Their heads went up and down. They told Mother Mouse yes without making a sound. She continued, "Us kids finally fell asleep. We dreamt of what we'd find under our Christmas tree. Usually us kids are first up Christmas Day. Never had Mom and Dad beat us up, I do say. But they did on this year. I was shocked when I woke. I heard Mom and Dad went to the tree. I did go. All our stockings were full. Gifts were under the tree. I noticed less presents this year were underneath, but I was too excited for it to mean a thing. I ran to Mom and Dad and I said, 'Good morning. Merry Christmas, Mommy. Merry Christmas, Dad, too. You guys are up early. Merry Christmas, both you.' My mom and dad hugged me and said, 'Merry Christmas. Look right behind you are your brother and your sis.' I turned and I looked. There standing were both them. I said, 'Merry Christmas. Where have both of you been? It is Christmas morning. It is time to awake.' 'Well, we are awake now,' both of my siblings did say. Also, 'Merry Christmas to you and Mom and Dad. I hope a meaningful, special Christmas we have.' Mom said, 'Merry Christmas,' after my dad did too. Then Mother got busy making us breakfast food. This morning it's oatmeal, nuts, and milk on the top. Mom made a whole pot full. She did make quite a lot. After eating, Dad said, 'Let's get ready to go. Make sure you dress up warm. Last night we got fresh snow.' On went all our snow pants, our wool socks, and our boots. On went our warm coats, hats, scarves, and our mittens too. Dad got our biggest sled. On went food and our gifts. He also led the way. All of us followed him. We had to clear a path 'cause of fresh fallen snow and clear it all the way to our poor friend's small home. We got there just as their Christmas stockings they took. That's all they had for gifts. In them all of them looked. We knew we shouldn't, but we watched through the window. All their Christmas stockings had a hole in the toe. In the bottom, a small case. No, not one, but two. One had some nuts in it, and the other, dried fruit. The baby got a cloth for a diaper to use. Cloth from his mom's blanket made him a one-piece suit. The little girl got a piece of cloth she could use to cover up her head to help keep it warm, too. Cloth from her mom's blanket was used to make her a new dress that she could wear this year on Christmas Day. The poor dad mouse got a new shirt that the mom sewed from cloth from his blanket, the one that did have holes. The poor mom mouse got a sawed square wood cutting board to use in the kitchen for chopping things, of course. They were as happy if they had tons of presents under their Christmas tree for the kids and the parents. That's when Dad turned around and told us to stand back and said to be quiet, as a matter of fact. He walked up to the door. He reached up with his fist. He stood still a minute. He heard nothing, so knocked on the door once again and said, "Merry Christmas! Hello, it is your friends." All of us heard footsteps and the click of the cane. Then the door did open. "Morning," my dad did say. Then said, "Merry Christmas. Hello, it's only me. We have a few gifts for you and your family." The poor dad mouse with his cane and his one peg leg opened the door wider. "Welcome, come in," he said. My father stepped aside so that we could go in. He and my brother brought in the food and presents. They were all excited. We caught them by surprise. "Merry Christmas, friends," said the poor mouse and his wife. My mom took the food and gave it to the mom mouse. It went right on the stove that helps keep warm their house. She will heat up the food for Christmas they would eat. We had brought them their first very large Christmas feast. They'd have roasted chestnuts and roasted pine nuts, too. They'd have mashed acorns with gravy thick as a soup. Lots of cornbread they'd eat. It is a favorite. They'd have plenty of food for the adults and kids. They had a couple things they all picked from to drink. As a matter of fact, it was 3 or 4 things. A hot apple cider or a cold apple juice, a hot or a cold tea they could have to drink too. For dessert, a choice of some maple nut candy canes, or a pie made from boysenberries. I thought, that's what me and my family does have on every Christmas day. For them I was still glad. I was a bit worried they might have all our food. I didn't worry long, and I did not act a fool. No matter what we'd have to eat this Christmas day, it would be good enough to myself, I did say. My new friend was happy, so was her family. At that moment, that was all that mattered to me. After the food was put to warm up on the stove, my dad got the presents we brought for them also. My mom got to go first. She had been quite busy. Curtains and blankets she sewed for this family. The curtains were heavy and put over windows. They would be a big help in keeping out the cold. Mom also sewed blankets for Mom, Dad, daughter, son. There were no holes in them, and a name was on each one. My dad went second in. He gave them some firewood. It's cut, split, and ready to use. Outside they looked. It was brought in the house and stacked where it does go. It would help them a lot to stay warm from the cold. He also made the dad a brand new wooden cane. It had a nice handle, a special one he made. The dad was more than thrilled. He was very happy. The cane's strong and will help him walk more easily. My sister would go third. She made them a few gifts. She made them some candles to help keep their home lit. My brother would go fourth. He made 2 sleds, not toys, one for the little girl, one for the baby boy. I dug in my toy box and found 2 special things to give out for presents, 2 good ones I did think. I gave a checkers game to my new little friend. I taught her how to play. She played wearing a grin. She will teach her little brother to play someday. Her mom and her dad too. It is fun. Can you play? Mother Mouse looked at the little mice boys and girls. They were nodding all their heads, saying yes to her. Mother Mouse said, I'm glad. Now for the baby boy. I gave him one of my favorite squeaky toys. The little boy loved it, held it, gave it a squeeze, and then he looked at me and was smiling happy. After giving them gifts, they did surprise all us. They had gifts to give too. The mom first picked hers up. Okay, we're going to stop there for part 4, and we'll see you tomorrow with part 5.